It kind of feels like Oregon has silently become an offensive lineman powerhouse over the last few years. And last year, I felt like really helped solidify that for you guys because there were a lot of questions and you guys answered all of them. Just how does it feel to continue on this legacy, this tradition?
I mean, I wouldn't say silently. I mean, we have the youngest Outland Trophy winner of all time, and with us being Joe Moore Award finalists last year, I feel like we're just gonna continue that reign and hopefully take it this year. So. Yeah.
Marcus said that he thought the O-line has the most personality out of any position.
Oh yeah.
Do you agree with that? And why?
For sure. I would say because there's so many of us. You got quiet dudes. You got more outgoing people. And I really feel like it's because we come from all over. Like there is a lot of people from the Pacific Northwest, but then you got people from the Midwest to the South. I'm gonna say back to the West Coast. So a lot of different backgrounds. So it comes with a lot of different personalities.
So, some of the offensive lines in the Big Ten get a lot of attention. Michigan, they have great running attack, great running offensive line.
Yeah.
Probably not as much attention here, but do you guys feel like you stack up with anyone in that conference across the front line?
Absolutely. I'm not gonna sit here and say that there's like a who's better, who's not. I mean, there's great offensive line play in the Big Ten, and we're just gonna continue to keep that standard, you know what I mean? So that's how I feel about it.
I feel like you were looking to kind of step up from a vocal perspective last year a little bit. You mentioned that your freshman year. Do you feel like you did that, and how so? And how does that look this year?
I feel like I have in the room for sure, in the O-line room. It's just kind of taking that next step to being that person more amongst the team. So I feel like that's where the improvement has to come more as more on when I'm speaking to the team. That's where I have to be better vocally, because in the O-line room, I have become more of a vocal leader. So I feel like once I make that next step to the team, that's when it'll start getting a little better. So yeah.
You guys have already obviously are dealing with the loss of Kyrie Jackson.
Yeah.
How's it sort of been, as a player on this team? How's the coaching staff sort of, help you guys get through this process?
Obviously just kind of remind us that we're blessed to be doing this because he doesn't have the opportunity, and really just go hard every day because we have the ability to just go out there and just do what we love to do and remember his name while we're doing it, you know what I mean? So.
Dan's talked about the get real sessions in the past. How beneficial are those, especially in times like this?
I think they're really good because you're talking about something other than football. You know what I mean? And sometimes you really do just need that. Just talk with your teammates, talk with your coaches, just about something else other than football, and it helps you get to know people a lot better on the team as well. So I feel like once you have different conversations, it just helps us grow our connection.
How can this offensive line get better from last year? I know you guys lose a couple pieces, but the majority of you guys are back. So what's kind of been the big goal this offseason to get better?
Really just being consistent and just being dominant at all times. I feel like one thing specifically that I see on film will be our pad level. Once we across the board start playing with lower pad level, that's going to take our game to the next level.
I'm sure you've been hearing about Big Ten defensive, win in the trenches. I know
right.
Coaches said a lot about it. When you kind of watch some film on the Big Ten teams, what do you kind of see? Do you see stuff that's different than teams that you played last year?
No, you see exactly what you just said. A lot of games are won in the trenches, you know what I mean? And we know that, and we know that a lot of games are going to be put on our backs, O-line and D-line, and I feel like we'll be ready to get the job done. Dillon's
come in here, and he's gone on some of these retreats over here. I know you guys went down to Southern Oregon. What's kind of that been like, and how's your relationship with them?
Dillon's a really great guy. He has really embraced connecting our offense, not just with the skill guys, but with the O-line too. And I mean, there's nobody I'm more thankful for with how much he has done, just putting himself out there and really just connecting with everybody and it's on the team, not just on the offense, but just on everybody on the team.
How differently is it to have Dillon back there than it was to have Bo?
I mean, I really don't see like a huge difference. Obviously, it's Dillon's first year, so it's like he's still learning stuff too. And once he gets everything down more consistently, I feel like it's gonna flow exactly the same.
What do you need to see from this O-line to know that cohesion is there from that it was a year ago?
To really just constant communication and just absolute dominance.
Since you just walked by and waved to you, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your relationship like with Marcus?
Oh man, that's my guy. That's my right hand. And shoot, there's nobody I feel like that's him, Steve, and then the 6 that were there before my freshman year. There's really nobody that's helped me more than Marcus from the day I've stepped on the field here. So. Yeah.
Is that just on-field stuff or off-the-field stuff as well?
Off the field as well. Shoot, school, financial stuff, everything. So, yeah.
Josh Bedford was just saying that the guys in the room, if him and Marcus are some of the louder guys,
yes.
Personalities and the like.
Yeah.
They asked him, all right, so who's the quiet guy? And he said, you.
Yeah.
So how is it when you're playing next to one of those loud guys,
right.
a new guy, and you're the way you are? It's good, bad, or otherwise, just a difference.
Right. Yeah, when I say I feel like that's what keeps us even keel. You know what I mean? Like we're never too high, we're never too low. Because you got your energy guys, and then you got your guys that kind of just do the work. You know what I mean? Not saying that they don't, but it's just like they gonna do it and talk to you while they do it. And I'm just there. I'm gonna just do the work. But I'll say my say here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
What does Bedford bring to the room in that way, off the field, in a meeting room, in a captain's practices, and just hanging out? Like, what? I'm not gonna say compare him to Jones because Jones is different too. But we're just saying, what makes him as the 6-year senior coming in 1 year? What does he bring to them?
Definitely a ton of knowledge, and with how much he's played, he has just the knowledge of how games will be, how environments will be. And I mean, like you said, he is a big energy guy. He does get kind of loud in the morning, but I would say he wakes me up sometimes. When I start kind of slow, it's like, come on, Josh, and that gets me right, and I'm ready to go. But he's definitely brought a really great energy to our room that I feel like we needed, and it's been fun.
How much in high school or club ball did you play JTT?
As crazy as it is, I feel like I played him more in basketball. But I played him a couple times growing up, and obviously high school, we played every year until he left. But yeah, we played a lot in basketball and football.
So. How much? I realize you guys many things in between now and then, but the country's awfully focused on October 12th and what that will look like. What will that individual match, because it's the local, because it's the history, because it's you guys being from where you're from, and now it's part of the Big Ten. What will that mean to you when that happens?
I feel like it's gonna be great work, great competition. Really just another opportunity to go out there and prove myself. So
True freshmen could be in your position group, another position group that you think, I wouldn't say you expect them to do big things, but that you've been impressed with since they've arrived?
Really that they do take the coaching a lot of the times, whether it's from me or from anybody else, and they apply it as well. They're great. I'm not saying I think that they're great listeners, and they bring pretty great energy to the room as well. They're not really scared to voice their opinions, and that's something that you really need because everybody should be able to talk. So,
any of them in particular that you think are ready to, maybe not immediately, but you see big things?
Shoot, all of them. Once they come together, I feel like they'll all be the next generation of great O-line play from Oregon football. So.